Hello my viewers, welcome back. This is your teacher Pascal, Mr. Distinctions. If you are new to the channel, kindly subscribe. Thank you very much for those who have been following me on this channel. Also thank you for those who are watching me from different parts of the world. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, because on this channel, as I said in my previous video, we do not have only chemistry, but we have all the compulsory subjects. We have mathematics, biology, physics, chemistry, and also English. Therefore, all you need to do is just to subscribe and also click on the notification bar so that you keep on following me and you keep on being updated whenever I post a new video. Alright, so in this video I'm sharing with you chemistry. Specifically, we'll be talking about organic chemistry. Then we'll be talking about the subtopic which has troubled a lot of pupils. So this topic is called macromolecules, or in other words, polymers. We'll be talking about polymers. You know, when you check in almost every paper of science or chemistry specifically, this topic is there, and there are many questions which are brought concerned with this topic. Therefore, you need to understand this topic. So I will explain this topic in detail, and I would encourage you, if you have anywhere where you can be writing, just get that paper, also that pen, so that you keep on following me and you keep on writing whatever I'll be explaining. Okay, so we'll be talking about what? Macromolecules. And the other term for macromolecules is polymers. Macromolecules can be also called polymers. By definition, when we talk of macromolecules, we're just talking about giant molecules. And these giant molecules are formed by joining smaller units called monomers. So when you get a monomer and another monomer, then you join them, what we are making, what we are producing, is what we are calling a polymer. Okay, so these monomers are smaller units, as you can see right over here. These monomers are smaller units, and the combination of these two smaller units, or more than two smaller units, which are called monomers, result in the formation of what? A larger molecule, which is called a polymer. So a polymer is just a molecule which is formed as a result of the combination of what? Of two or more smaller units, which are called monomers. I'm sure you're getting the point. Okay, so now these polymers, that process of combining two monomers to produce a polymer, that process is called polymerization. So whenever you've been asked to define polymerization, it's just a process of combining of joining what? Smaller units called monomers to produce or to form a larger molecule, which is called a polymer. So that process is called polymerization, and that process is a process of what? Of forming a polymer. Okay, so that's the definition of polymerization. This is a process of joining up what? Smaller units called monomers to form a larger molecule, to form larger molecules, which are called polymers. So when you get a smaller unit, another smaller unit, then you join them up, what will you have is the one which we are calling a polymer. Do not confuse these two words. When you talk of a monomer is a smaller unit, but when you talk of a polymer is a larger unit which is formed as a result of what? As a result of combining, or as a result of combination, or as a result of the combination of these two smaller units, which are called monomers. Okay, let's talk about the types of macromolecules or polymers. Let's talk about the types of macromolecules or polymers. As I said, please get a paper and a pen so that you take note of these notes, because this pamphlet, I have come across with some questions which are just the examples which they have given in this pamphlet. Therefore, I urge you to get a pen and a paper, and also keep watching up to the end of this video, because you may not know some of the examples which they have given in this topic may come in your final examination. Okay, so when you talk of the types of macromolecules, we've got only how many types? Two. We've got only two types of what? Macromolecules. And the first one, we've got synthetic macromolecules or synthetic polymers. Then the second one, we've got natural polymers. So now you need to understand the difference between these two, and I'm going to explain in detail so that you know and understand, because you would find that there are many questions which are brought just telling you to differentiate between these two. Okay, so when you talk of synthetic polymers, synthetic, as the name implies, when you talk of something which is synthetic, it is something which is artificial, something which is just being produced by people. So when you talk of synthetic polymers, we are talking about polymers which are just produced, by people, and that is the other term for synthetic polymers. We are talking about, we are saying they are also called what? Artificial polymers. These are polymers which are produced artificially by who? By people. So these are just man-made what? Polymers. Don't forget, I'm talking about the first type of macromolecules, which is synthetic macromolecule. So when you talk of synthetic macromolecules, we are just talking about man-made what? Polymers. Polymers which have been made by men. Okay. So what you need to know also, before we can even talk about this, the second type of macromolecules, what you need to know is that these synthetic polymers are divided into how many categories? Into two categories. Are categorized into how many categories? Two. The first one, we have addition polymers. The second one, we have condensation what? Polymers. So these two categories are falling under which type? Under synthetic polymers. I'm sure you're getting the point. So we've got how many types? Two. Okay, let me just do this. We've got how many types? Two. We've got synthetic, then we've got natural polymers. Then this same synthetic polymers, it is divided into how many categories? Two. We've got addition polymers. Again, we've got condensation what? Polymers. So the mother is here, right over here, which is synthetic polymers. Then this mother has got two child. We've got addition. We've got a child who is named addition polymers. Then we've got a child who is named condensation what? Polymers. You can write this diagram which I've written right over here, because it may help you not to be confusing this. Okay, so that is that. Then what you need to know now, when you talk of addition polymers, let's talk about this first child who is called addition polymers. Don't forget, we've got synthetic, who is having two children. We've got addition as a child. Then also we also have condensation as a child. Now let's talk about this one, the first one. So when you talk of addition polymers, which are under synthetic polymers, when you talk of addition polymers, they are saying addition polymers are polymers formed from smaller identical unsaturated monomers. Here's a point. I want you to understand something. When talk of addition polymers, are polymers formed from small identical unsaturated monomers. And these unsaturated monomers are identical, are just the same. So you combine two or more identical unsaturated monomers to form a polymer, which is called an addition polymer. Under which type? Under synthetic type of polymers. I'm sure you're getting the point. So we've got the synthetic polymers. Then this one has got these two children. We've got the addition polymers. Now, how are these addition polymers look like? Or how these addition polymers look? Actually, not look like, because when you talk of English, when you say how, then you do not have to put like, unless you say what like. How does your sister look? That is okay. Unless you begin with what. What does your sister look like? That is English. Okay. Let's go back to our discussion. So we are saying that addition polymers are polymers formed from smaller identical unsaturated monomers. And here what we have to understand, I will explain further, don't worry. Here what you have to understand is that no other product is formed apart from the polymer itself. I'm sure you understand this as we'll be proceeding. No other product is formed apart from the polymer. So addition polymer or addition polymerization result in the formation of what? A polymer only. No other product is formed. But when we talk of the other one, which is right over here, which is condensation polymer, we will understand, we will see that there is also another product which is formed apart from the polymer. So after the addition of monomers, we're talking about this one. After the addition of monomers, of course we know that what we are going to have is a polymer. But besides the polymer, there is also another one, or another product which we are going to have, and that is water. I'm sure you understand. You understand. I hope you have somewhere where you are writing, you are taking the points. I'm sure you have learned summary. You know how to summarize the points. Okay. So when talk of addition polymerization, addition polymers, I mean, when talk of addition polymers are formed by the process called addition polymerization. So addition polymers are formed by which process? Addition polymerization. And the definition is right over here. If you want a definition, though it is very simple, because when talk of addition polymerization, it's just a polymerization where the polymer as the empirical formula as the monomer, or the polymer has got the empirical formula as what? As a monomer. I'm going to explain, don't worry. So here's an example. Let's look at this example. I want you to understand something. Here we have polyethylene. Then we have ethene. Then we have ethene. So as you can see, this name has got two things. The first thing is that this name is showing us that this thing which we have here is a polymer. This first part of the name, poly. Then the last part, we can see that it is showing us that what we have is what is ethene. So it is a polymer which is formed as a result of combining smaller units or monomers which are ethenes. I'm sure you're getting the point. And don't forget, when we are talking about the addition polymers, we said addition polymers formed from smaller identical and unsaturated. When talk of unsaturated monomers, we are talking about what? Alkenes. Because we have only saturated and unsaturated. When we talk of saturated, we are talking about alkanes. Okay, I'll come and explain on the differences between alkanes and alkenes. But what you need to know, the first difference is that alkanes are saturated. When we talk of alkanes are saturated what? Organic compounds. But when we talk of alkenes, this family is an unsaturated what? Organic family. Then inside this family, which is the family of alkenes, that's where we have ethene, propene, also what other members do we have? Ethene, propene, we've got also butene, and so on and so forth. But when we talk of alkanes, this is where we have ethane, then we've got also propane, then we've got also pentane, and so on and so forth. The difference is right over here. Here we have got A, then here we've got E. So whenever you hear ethene, propene, pentene, just know that we are talking about this family, which is the family of alkenes. And this family is the one which is referred to as unsaturated what? Hydrocarbons. Then the other one, which has got A, is the one which is referred to as saturated what? Hydrocarbons. And the reason I will explain in the next video. I'll explain why these are called saturated, while these are called unsaturated. But as for now, what I want you to understand is just to know that when we talk of unsaturated, we are talking about alkenes. So here, as we can see, as I was saying, we've got polyethene. This polyethene, this first part of the name is showing us that this is a polymer. Then this part is showing us that this polymer is formed as a result of the combination of monomers, which are called ethenes. So here we've got this ethene and also this ethene. Again, the point which you need not to forget is that when we talk of addition polymers, are polymers formed from identical unsaturated monomers. As you can see, this one is just the same as this one. These are identical monomers. I'm sure you are getting the point. Then, after these are joined together, what they are forming is this polymer, which is called polyethene. Here we have ethene plus ethene, and we've got polyethene. So now, what do you need to know whenever you are writing a polymer which is formed from these unsaturated hydrocarbons, which are alkenes? So what you need to know is that here we have to break this bond. We've got double bonds, if you can see clearly. So here you have to break this double bond, and the other bond you are going to put it right over there. Then the other one is going to remain. So as you can see, we've got this one, which is placed here as a result of the breaking of this double bond. Then we have remained with only one. Then also we are going to do the same thing also to this one. We are going to break it, and we are going to remain with this one. Then the other one we are going to put it to the front. So as you can see, each and every polymer has got two bonds on each end. So whenever you just see something which is looking like this, then it has got bonds on its end. Just know that that thing is a polymer. I'm sure you're getting the point. If you make a mistake by not writing these bonds, then what you have written is not a polymer, it's just something else. That point is very important and is very cardinal. You need to know that whenever you're writing addition polymers, you need to leave bonds on each end or at each end. Okay, let's go and see the uses of what? Polyethylene. I'm sure you are now able to see how this polyethylene is formed. So we are just going to break this bond, this double bond, also this double bond, and the bond, the first bond we are going to put it like that. Then, as you can see, this carbon has got how many bonds? 4. 1, 2, then also these 2 bonds. And carbon has got carbon needs 4 electrons for it to be stable, because this is what the electron configuration of carbon, which means for it to have 8 on its outermost shell, it has to gain more 4 more electrons. So it has got 4 more bonds which need to be bonded. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got 1, 2, and these 2, which is giving us 4. So now, remember I said that you need to break this bond. You need to break this bond, this which is right over here. Then you put it like that. So if you can see clearly, if you remove this bond, then this carbon is going to look like this. Then as you can see, we have got 1, 2, 3, and we have remained with 1 bond. And this bond is the one which we are going to connect it with this one. I'm sure you're getting the point. Also, this bond, we are going to break it so that we put it to the front. And what we are having is this one. Okay, let's go to the uses of what? Polyethylene. So in talk of polyethylene, number 1, we are saying it is used in making what? Plastics bags. So polyethylene is used in making plastic bags. If you observe in most of the plastic bags, polyethylene is written there. Then it is also used to making what? Squeezing bottles. It is also used in doing that. Okay, let's go and look at the other example. We've just looked at the polyethylene. Let's look at another example of addition polymers. Polymers. Okay, let's look at the polyvinyl chloride, or PVC in short. PVC, I'm sure this one is common, because if you check on the buckets where paint is loaded, you will find that PVC is written there. So one of the uses of PVC, although we haven't yet reached that point, one of the uses of PVC is to make what? To make paints. Okay, so polyvinyl chloride is formed when vinyl chloride molecules do what? Combine. And how do we write vinyl chloride? Here is how we write vinyl chloride. So you just have to write it the same way we write what? Ethene. But the only difference is that here we put chlorine. Right over there. As you can see also, there is chlorine right over there. That's why it is even called polyvinyl. It is called vinyl chloride. Chloride is coming up as a result of this chlorine, which is right over there. Okay, so remember, when we talk of addition polymers, we are adding up identical monomers. This means that here, if we have vinyl chloride, also what we are going to join it with is vinyl chloride, and as a result it is going to give us polyvinyl chloride, because this poly, as I explained, this poly shows that what we are having is a polymer, so polyvinyl chloride. So the name itself, this polyvinyl chloride, is showing us that this molecule is a polymer. That is the first thing. Poly now is a polymer formed by joining what? By joining what? Vinyl chloride. I'm sure you're getting these power points. So that is that. So here, what you do is just the same as I was doing on the first example. We just have to break these double bonds, then you put it like that. So here we have remained with one, also here we have remained with one. Then since carbon has got requires 4 bonds, as you can see, since here we have remained with one, also here and there we've got 3 bonds. The other one is the one which is connecting this to this one, and this is how it will look. I'm sure you're getting the points. So maybe they can ask you the repeating unit. There is a question which they normally ask. Circle the repeating unit. So the repeating unit, as you can see, is the part which is repeating itself. So here we've got this H and this H, this Cl and this Cl. So this is the repeating unit. So if you go to our polymer, we can see that we've got this H and this H, this Cl and this Cl. So this is the repeating unit. If you consider the second one, you see that it is just one and the same. This H and this H, just like this, these two H. Then this Cl and this Cl is just the same. So the repeating unit which is right over here is this one. I'm sure you're getting the point. Also, on this one, this is the repeating unit, which is this H and this H. So here, what we have as a repeating unit is this one. So because this is the monomer we are using, our monomer which we are using, which we are using, has got this H, has got 2H, then has got 2C, then has got 2H on down there. Okay, I'm sure you get the point. What is the use of the uses of polyvinyl chloride? Number one, it is used in making what? PVC paints, as I was saying. Then number two, it is used in making what? Electrical insulators. Electrical insulators, you can see that there are some red insulators and there are some black insulators which are there in electric cables. So it is PVC which is used to make those electrical insulators. Then it is also used in electrical what? Insulators, records, seat covers, and what? And raincoats. So these are the uses of what? PVC. Okay, thank you very much. We have just talked about addition polymers. Remember, we said that in addition polymerization, what we only have is the polymer. That's all. But when we talk of condensation polymerization, besides having this polymer, besides having a polymer, we also have another substance or another product which is water. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how water is formed. So check, keep on checking, so that whenever I post that video, you also watch, so that you connect it with this one. Otherwise, I hope you have understood this topic, and if you have any questions or any comments, you can put them in the comment box. That's what I can say. If you have got any questions or any comments, you can put them in the comment box. Also, if you check, there's a WhatsApp link. We have a channel. We have a group. I have created a group in which I normally share some important materials, so you can also check so that you can join and we keep enjoying our academic journey. Don't forget to subscribe, also to put a like in the comment if this video has helped you. Also, don't forget to share to your friends so that even them also can enjoy what you are enjoying. Otherwise, thank you very much. Keep on following me.